Three actions you can take right now to change your wife's mind about divorce. Number one, become unshakable. Shift from needy to strong. Women don't walk away from love, they walk away from weakness. Right now, your emotions are all over the place, and she feels that instability. The more you beg, chase, try to manipulate or convince her, the more unattractive you become. So, what I want you to do is to flip the script. Show her a man who is grounded, focused, and unshaken by rejection. Be the man she respects, not the man she pities. Number two, change the pattern. I want you to break this cycle she's tired of. Right now, she's already convinced herself that nothing will change. She's seen this version of you for far too long. To shift her perspective, you got to disrupt the pattern. That means not reacting the way you always have. If she expects you to argue, stay calm. That's actually known as being a monster. If she expects you to be passive, stand firm. That's actually known as being the mama's boy. If she expects you to chase, step back. I want you to shock her with the unexpected. And she'll have no choice but to reconsider what she thought she knew about you. Number three, lead without trying to control. In other words, show, don't tell. Look, you can't talk your way back into her heart. Words are empty when trust is broken. Right now, she needs to see a change, not hear about one. That means leading with action, consistency, and integrity, not desperate promises. Instead of saying, I'll be better, be better. Instead of saying, I love you, live in a way that makes her feel safe, respected, valued, and loved. Actions rebuild trust. Words won't save you. So, this is your wake up call. If your wife is talking about divorce, let me make one thing perfectly clear. You don't have time to play around. This is war. You either step up and fight for your marriage, or you sit back and you watch it burn. And right now, she's already halfway out the door. She's not the same woman who stood at the altar, eyes filled with desire and respect and love and appreciation, locked with yours, believing that you were the man, the leader, and the king who would protect, love, and lead her for life. She doesn't believe that guy exists. She feels like she was baited and switched. She thinks that she stepped up to that altar to marry the prince who would become a king, and somebody at the last minute substituted the frog. She doesn't feel safe with you now, and she doesn't believe that change is possible. And let me hit you with this. Right now, you're the biggest reason she wants out. And not because you're a bad man, not because you don't love her, but because the version of you that she's been living with is no longer the man she can follow. And deep down, you know it's true. So here's the question. Do you have the guts to face that fact? Because until you do, no strategy, no begging, no controlling, no dominating, no manipulating, no logic, and no right words are going to change her mind. You have to literally become the man she cannot walk away from. When we talk about the 6 savage outcomes of communicating message to capture permission to convert her mindset, we get into convert her mindset. This is where God opens up her brain and pours all kinds of hormones and neurotransmitters in there that make her feel infatuated and romantically and physically attached, bonded, aroused, and attracted to you. And the thing is she's not feeling that now. And what she is feeling is pain. So let's talk about why she wants out. Because if you don't understand what I just told you, you're going to keep fighting in the dark and you're going to lose. She has lost emotional safety. Science tells us that women's brains are wired for connection and security. When a woman no longer feels emotionally safe with a man, her body literally responds as if she's in danger. Her nervous system switches into survival mode. Now, what does that look like? What it looks like is if you're walking down in the forest and all of a sudden a bear jumps out in front of you. Your body has these survival mechanisms, and it floods itself with catecholamines, with stress hormones, with cortisol, with adrenaline and noradrenaline. And these things give you superhuman strength, but it comes at a cost of not hunting down and killing cancer, of not preventing heart disease, of letting your blood pressure do all kinds of damage in your arteries, of letting your sugar go too high so that your muscles have adequate stuff, letting your temperature go too high. All of these things give you some kind of a chance to survive against the bear. But the problem is when you keep your wife marinating in that stuff day after week after month after decade, her body is dying faster. The little telomeres that they can measure to say how much life you have left are far shorter in men and women and their children in long-term unhappy marriages. So the thing is she might not be able to articulate this, but she somehow on some level feels it. And because of that, she doesn't respect you anymore. And before you say, but she should respect me because I'm her husband, bro, respect is not a right. It's earned. Ephesians 5:25 doesn't say, husbands, remind your wives to submit. Crack myself up. I mean, we wish it would. It would be great if 525 said, husbands, remind your wives to submit. But no, it says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. She's tired of feeling unheard. The number one predictor of divorce, the habitual avoidance of conflict. It's the communication issues. A woman who feels emotionally abandoned, as if every conversation turns into blaming, shaming, defending, deflecting, defensiveness, arguments, avoiding hard topics altogether, sweeping things under the rug. She's already convinced herself that life would be easier without you. So if you're thinking, but I love her, I don't want this. The Bible does tell you to love her, but that's not the problem here, man. I know in your heart you love her. It's how you manifest that love and how that leads her to believe that nothing about any of this pain that you're giving her is ever going to change. That is what's killing your marriage. So let's talk about what she actually wants. Let's get real. Does she even want to be with you anymore? And the truth. And maybe not right now, but I guarantee you that she wants to want you. This is a great story. It's our head coach, Nick Denman. He and his wife, Kelly, they were in a horrible place. You can go watch their testimonial. I don't know if they go into all the details, but she wanted to leave, so he locked up all her stuff, her phone, her keys, her wallet, her credit cards, everything, her money, literally imprisoned her in the house. I mean, it was bad, man. Jumped into this program years and years ago, and as he began to turn the corner, one of the first signs he got of light breaking through the clouds was she sent him a letter and she said, I'm still not in love with you, but I want to be. She wants those feelings because they feel good. You want those feelings because they feel good. And she wants those feelings with the biological father of her children, if that's who you are, or the man who loves her children, his stepchildren, if that's who you are. Or the man she stands to lose 70% of her net worth and have her life plummet into poverty on average if she leaves you. She doesn't want any of that stuff. She wants you, man. She wants to be desired, pursued, and led by a man she can trust with her heart, that king she thought she married on the altar, not the frog she got baited and switched with. So in truth, she doesn't want out of the marriage. She wants out of the pain she associates with being married to you. This is like anybody on the street, if they don't know they have heart disease and you walk up to them and say, hey, how would you like to have heart surgery tomorrow? We've got an opening. That person's going to look at you like you're insane. Nobody wants to go through that. But if you find out you need it or you're going to die or your life is going to be drastically reduced, then all of a sudden you want it. What she does need to see is a strong man. How do you change your mind? Don't beg, plead, or fall apart, but lead with quiet confidence. A consistent man, not one who tries for a week and then slides back into his old habit. A man she can trust, not because he says, give me one more chance, but because his actions scream, I am that man now, and I am getting better at being that man every day. Brother, you can become that man. But it's not about changing her mind. It's about changing you so that her mind changes on its own. It's her idea to change her mind because of what she observes in you. So I want to encourage you that you can win this war. Because listen, man, I know you feel like you're losing. I know the fear of waking up one day and realizing it's too late. But let me tell you something, man. If she has any emotions towards you, even anger, frustration, resentment, it means there's still something left to fight for. The guys who are in real trouble, and we've helped plenty of them come back from it, but it's a heavier lift, is if she's completely apathetic. Apathy is the real death of a marriage. So if she's showing any emotion towards you, hot and cold, affectionate, distant, cold, hate, anger, resentment, hurt, it means there's still hope. The question, brother, is what are you going to do with that hope? Will you waste it by repeating the same mistakes? Will you sit back and wait for her to come around? Will you let fear and self-pity be the things that define your legacy as a man? Or will you stand up, take your place, and fight for what God entrusted to you? Because here's the truth, brother. God is for you in this fight. He is the God of restoration, the God of redemption, the God who breathes life into dead things. He's also the God who requires men to lead. He's not going to wave a magic wand over your marriage. He's waiting for you to step into your role so that he can bless the work of your hands. So now you know the truth. Now you see what's at stake. The next step, that's up to you. Some men will walk away from this video full of conviction and do nothing. Others will take this fire and start the real work of becoming the man their wife can't walk away from, because her own body is literally compelling her into the action of walking towards him. If that's you, I invite you to take the next step. If you're done losing, if you're ready to rise, if you're ready to learn what actually works to turn this ship around, then let's go, because your story isn't over yet. Click the links below. Come into this brotherhood and let's get you started.